older. So I wouldn't think it's a given that he only comes back to the Premier League. No,
I'd love to see him back in the Prem. I'm a big fan of his. I hope he wins the Ballon d'Or.
You'd like him at United, obviously.
I'd love him at United. I think it'd be an amazing fit.
Do you think he... Right, so it would be a year from now.
Yep.
Do you think he would... What do you think he would go and get for you guys? Do you think he would get 35?
Premier League goals?
Not Premier League goals. I don't know if
he get over 20 Premier League goals.
Yeah, we get over... I agree with you there, mate. I think he
and why would
definitely
you turn
gets
it down? It's very hard to get that nowadays.
It is.
Well, I tell you, we'll take calls on it, right?
Yeah,
we get Harry at your club right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure Chelsea fans would bite your arm off to get Harry Kane's signature.
Yeah.
I think I'll go so far as to say, apart from City, because they've got Haaland.
Yeah.
And maybe Liverpool, because they've got two options there with Ekitike and Isaac. I'd say every club in the Premier League would have Harry Kane.
And the thing with Harry, unlike Danny Welbeck's coming to Chelsea knowing that he's going to play, but he's not going to play every week. Harry, I think, he's still at that point. Harry wants to play every week. He would expect to start absolutely every game.
Okay, well,
he's ready.
Sim, our producer, has just told me that the next section of the show will be your calls.
Nice.
So Chelsea fans, you can phone up and talk about Henderson and Welbeck, and also football fans, you can talk about Harry Kane.
Yeah.
I think every single club, there's not one fan of a club, apart from City or Liverpool, because they've got, that wouldn't want Harry Kane. All right? Talking about whether Tottenham's all-time leading goal scorer can end up at Chelsea. We're sort of it's a little bit facetious.
Bit cheeky.
Bit cheeky. There's Sim for you over there. That's not actually what we're asking, but we did mention that. I think every club in the Premier League, apart from two, just before the break, I said, would have him. Should we go to the phone lines?
Yes.
Nick is a Chelsea fan. Morning, Nicholas. How you doing?
I'm great, thanks, guys. How are you?
We're great as well. It's nice to hear you're great. Where are you off to? You're on your way to work? What are you doing?
No, I'm just going to pop my car into the garage in a minute and pick up a courtesy car. But listening to you guys about Harry Kane. I mean, it's great that we've decided that after 3 years or so the experiment didn't work with the kids.
Yeah.
We should have got rid of all the experience in the first place. So it's just great news that the owners are thinking, do you know what, we'll go for experience. We'll have a manager, not a coach. And the idea of getting Harry Kane, I know some Chelsea fans will cringe because he's, ex-Spurs. But for me, it's a win-win because we get one of the best strikers in the world. We get the experience as well. And it might upset a few Spurs fans if we cut Harry Kane back at to Chelsea.
I think it really would. I think it would upset a lot of football fans, actually, because I think most people would want him because he can still do a job, right? There's no doubt about that, Nick.
I think he'll do a job. Plus, he's a great professional. You couldn't get it's like Danny Welbeck. What a model professional. Someone who keeps his head down, no controversy, works hard, keeps fit, and a great example to the kids. I think for Chelsea, it would be a game changer. I think Danny Welbeck would be a fantastic signing, but Harry Kane would be the icing on the cake for me.
Do you expect Danny to get lots of game time at Chelsea this season? Oh, he's gone, Nick. I think he's changed his car too early.
Just dropped that motor off.
Let's go to Lee, a Spurs. Oh, he won't be happy. Lee's a Spurs fan. Hello, Lee.
Morning, Lee.
Hello, lads. You all right?
We're good. How are you today?
I'm good. I've just pulled up in McDonald's having my breakfast.
Oh, my God. What are you having?
I've just had a double sausage and egg McMuffin meal with a hot chocolate.
Hold on.
Really?
What? A double?
Double sausage and egg McMuffin.
That shouldn't, but it sounds unbelievable. Lee, you're making us very jealous. You're a Spurs fan. Would you be jealous if Chelsea nicked Harry Kane?
Obviously I would, but he won't go there. No way he wouldn't do that to us. I honestly think that he's going to do one more season with Bayern, and then he's going to come back to us. He didn't want to leave in the first place, but he had to leave because, as we all know, the Tottenham chairman and the owners are so greedy, filling their own pockets. He realised he had to go to win something, and he will do one more season, and then he'll come back to Tottenham. I guarantee it.
Lee, I always worry a little bit about those ones when you had the best of Harry Kane, right? He was incredible for you. And then when he comes back, it's a bit like the Ronaldo one. When he came back to Man United, there's this huge fanfare around it. Oh, that's incredible news, great. And then the reality is he's not quite the same player. Now, I don't know whether Harry, who knows in the next 12 months how that's playing week in, week out, how much that's going to affect him again. I don't know what sort of Harry Kane possibly is going to be around in 12 months' time, but it doesn't always work out, that one, when they come back.
No. Lee?
I think you're absolutely spot on. I do think he'll come back. He won't be as amazing because he's going to be getting older. But
time. We begin the Chelsea news today with a Simon Phillips exclusive. And I do actually just want to give a shout out here to Simon Phillips. He's a brilliant Chelsea journalist. I'm going to leave his stuff linked in the description. And Simon Phillips says, Stones is appealed by Xabi Alonso, and he has always had a soft spot for Chelsea, having come fairly close to joining them some years back. This is a deal that I will preach from the rafters for everybody. This has to get done. Chelsea Football Club signing John Stones on a free this summer. We spoke yesterday about Chelsea bringing in Aston Villa set-piece coach Austin McPhee from Aston Villa, and we can talk about big fees for certain players all we like, but there are some signings that might have a more monumental impact and a bigger impact than others. And I feel like the new set-piece coach, Austin McPhee, who's had a brilliant track record at Aston Villa and various other places throughout his career in football, I feel like John Stones will have just such an amazing impact on this Chelsea squad. The fact that we've now brought in some serious footballers, the likes of Palestra, Lacroix, Morgan Rogers, these are massive first-team upgrades in the squad. And also, I've seen some photos. I haven't managed to get it confirmed, but it looks as though Wesley Fofana was down in pain in training, and we know that this guy just cannot stay fit. I don't know if that's true, so don't take my word for it. But again, if we're offloading Trevor Chalobah this summer, Disasi's going, Badiashile is going. Those are three centre-backs. We know that Tosin's got a spot, but is Tosin good enough? There's a debate. John Stones is good enough. At 32 years old, John Stones brings Premier League experience. He brings leadership. And yes, there's big question marks about can he stay fit as well. But sometimes, if a player is injury prone, it's then about what impact does he have on the dressing room. Now, I don't want to dig Wesley Fofana out here, but I don't necessarily think Wesley Fofana is going around that Chelsea dressing room, bringing everybody together and just up in the vibes. Do you know what I mean? John Stones, I feel like, even if he's not fit, could be that player for Chelsea. And the fact that he's available on a free means that, in my opinion, this is an absolute no-brainer. And as Simon Phillips has said here, if he's appealed by Xabi Alonso, then John Stones would be willing and open for the move. And as well as that, remember when he went to Manchester City, it looked as though at one point Chelsea were going to bring John Stones from Everton, and then look at what John Stones has gone and done with his career. I watched him a lot for England at the World Cup, and I was obviously there at the games watching him as an England fan. And it's different when you see players that play for rival clubs. As soon as that England shirt is on, you want them to perform, and everything that they do that is brilliant, you're praising it. John Stones, positionally, in that World Cup was immense for England. Sometimes there were 2v1s, and I don't know if there's a Chelsea defender that we have at this football club who's actually got enough experience in those situations to deal with it in an exemplary way. John Stones, 2 Norwegian players running at him, don't worry about it. John Stones has got it covered. He's an unbelievable defender. And for me, if this actually happens, this could be one of my favourite deals that Chelsea get done this summer. Simon Phillips' links are in the description. Go check him out. He's been posting on Instagram and YouTube and stuff as well. And I like Simon, so make sure you check his links down below.
And today, guys, we have to talk a lot about Real Madrid. Tonight, we have to talk a lot about Real Madrid. But remember, guys, first, let's restart from some bit of news around Europe, because Brentford are signing Sangaré for 41 million from Lens, because Geronimo Rulli is close to completing his move to Manchester City, exclusive news from yesterday, and now Geronimo Rulli agreed personal terms with Manchester City. The negotiation is underway with Olympique Marseille. I think next week the deal can be agreed. Now probably over the weekend there will be more conversations, but the expectation is to enter into next week and try to strike an agreement and see Gero Rulli as new backup goalkeeper at Manchester City. And then the big story coming out of Newcastle, the exclusive of the morning, is now a here we go. Matthias Geisle, according to my information, will travel on Saturday, ready for the unveiling as new Newcastle head coach. The deal is done, is agreed, 4-year contract, June 2030. Everything is in place, and I can tell you more. The compensation for Matthias Geisle to leave Al Ahly and join Newcastle as new head coach is going to be 11 million euros. This is the compensation for Al Ahly. Al Ahly are in conversations to try find a replacement. It's been a crazy day. Eddie Howe leaving Newcastle. Newcastle going for Matthias Geisle, agreement done, 4-year contract, 11 million euros compensation. And who is going to Al Ahly? Many rumours, many stories. Let me clarify something. At the moment, I'm not aware of anything advanced or concrete with Antonio Conte. I'm told that Arne Slot was approached, but Arne Slot, according to my information, has all the intention, rather than going to Saudi now, or rather to consider international football opportunities. He was linked with the Dutch national team job. Arne Slot wants to continue in European football with clubs. Arne Slot believes after Liverpool and before Feyenoord, he has the opportunity to join a new club in the near future. Could be in 2027, we will see. And so Arne Slot prefers a European club from a top league. This is the intention of Arne Slot. So things are still happening, as you can see, about coaches, about managers. Then we have to talk about Real Madrid, guys, because the big news of the night is coming out of Real Madrid. With a very fast deal, Real Madrid today hijacked the move of Premier League clubs. There were 2 Premier League clubs ready to pay the release clause for Carlos Espí. One was Hull City and the other one was Brighton. Both clubs wanted to pay the release clause and were negotiating with the agent of the player to try bring this Spanish striker, very tall, traditional number 9, from Levante, to try bring him to Premier League. But Real Madrid arrived over the afternoon, and after they sold Gonzalo Garcia to Fulham, because Real Madrid made profit with 40 million euros, 2 in add-ons, 30% sell-on clause and matching rights. This is the package they agreed for Gonzalo Garcia. Gonzalo is going to Arbeloa. Real Madrid, in the space of few hours, replaced Gonzalo Garcia with another tall striker, traditional number 9, wanted by Jose Mourinho, and this Carlos Espí. Because Mourinho informed Real Madrid in the morning that he still wanted one more striker, Real Madrid called the agents of Carlos Espí, told them to wait and not to sign with any Premier League club because Real Madrid had really the possibility to enter, and that's what happened. Espí wanted to wait for Real Madrid. Real Madrid closed the agreement with the player in 5 minutes because it was very easy to reach the agreement on the contract. Then medical test, contract signing, and so informing Levante in the late evening about paying the release clause. So hijack completed and Real Madrid get Carlos Espí. One more signing. So for Real Madrid, exciting window for them, signing so many players. It's been a long time that Real Madrid were not signing so many players in the same window. And also, don't forget that the next one is going to be Yan Diomande. Yan Diomande will be the next signing of Real Madrid. Again, guys, sometimes in the market, I keep repeating you, as a gentleman agreement, you can let the other club go on the market and get another player before you announce the move. You can have some kind of gentleman private agreement, but believe me, the deal is done. The deal is agreed. Yan Diomande will be a Real Madrid player in few days. So relax, don't worry, Yan Diomande to Real Madrid. The here we go is 100% verbally confirmed, obviously waiting for the player to travel, have his medical, sign his contract, but the verbal agreement is in place for Yan Diomande. So he's going to be the next one. For Rodri, the conversations continue between Real Madrid and Manchester City. There have been new contacts. Many of you ask me why the deal is not getting done immediately. At the moment, Manchester City are not giving green light to 50 million euros indications from Real Madrid because, I keep telling you, Manchester City have a feeling that more clubs could join the race. So Manchester City say, before accepting everything in 5 minutes and letting Rodri go to Real Madrid, we still want to take some days to understand if there is a chance for other clubs to jump into the race. At the same time, remember the player, because then the player can say whatever he wants. The player can decide whatever he wants. Other clubs can join and the player can stop them. So that's absolutely clear. And we all know about the desire of Rodri for Spain. So that's the situation around Rodri. We will be following that one. But Carlos Espí, done to Real Madrid. The situation also with Yan Diomande being clarified, negotiations ongoing for Rodri, and then the outgoings. Gonzalo Garcia, we said, to Fulham, 40 million euros, 30% sell-on clause, matching rights, and 2 million euros in add-ons. Cesar Palacios, midfielder from Real Madrid to Fulham, a news exclusively revealed here on the channel 4 or 5 days ago that they were negotiating also for Cesar. Now Cesar, who was wanted also by Como working on the player, is going to Fulham. 10 million euros, 30% sell on close, matching rights. So everything has been agreed. Very, very busy for Real Madrid. Then, just quickly mentioning also that contacts continue also for Bradley Barcola. Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, agents of the player are in regular contact. The real point is going to be, guys, and as always mentioned, about the transfer fee, because in terms of contract of the player, in terms of personal terms, in terms of project, there is going to be no problem. Bradley Barcola is super keen on Liverpool. Bradley Barcola is super excited about Liverpool. The contacts are continuing. Obviously, in order to see Bradley Barcola going to Liverpool, it takes a financial big investment. And so, of course, Liverpool need to clarify how much they are willing to pay to Paris Saint-Germain in order to understand how they can make it happen, this deal for Bradley Barcola. Nothing is imminent. I know yesterday they told you, the bid is preparing, is getting ready. It's not about this. The bid will come, obviously. Liverpool want Barcola, and this bid will come. As the agreement with the player will come. It's just about reaching an agreement, a financial agreement with Paris Saint-Germain. So that's the key point, and this could take some time, because PSG already lost many players up front. And at the moment, they are finalizing a Cluj, but still, they lost several players, and so that's going to be important. The timing also to let Paris Saint-Germain find solutions for their own attackers.
And more bad news for FIFA, more bad news for Gianni Infantino, because today in Miami, the North and Central American Football Confederation, they're called CONCACAF, and they have 41 members. They've been holding an emergency meeting in Miami to discuss Gianni Infantino's controversial plan to sell off a stake in the World Cup. And they have come out unanimously rejected his proposal. And they've just released a pretty strongly worded statement. They're not going as far as UEFA have gone and said that they're going to boycott FIFA tournaments, but they are making it very, very clear that they're unhappy with FIFA, they're unhappy with Gianni Infantino, and they're rejecting this proposal out of hand. They say during the meeting, the membership expressed deep concerns about the lack of due process surrounding the proposal, the artificially short deadline, because all these FAs around the world have been told by Gianni Infantino, you have until September the 19th to either accept this proposal or reject it. All these FAs are saying, why? Why have you put this deadline? Surely this needs to be done properly. It needs to be argued, looked at. We need to have a proper consultation. You can't just do this all behind closed doors.
Well, it's out of the Trump playbook, that, isn't it?
Well, you said it there. I'm not going to argue with you, Mike. They also go on to say they are concerned about the absence of any review or approval by the relevant FIFA governance body. And they also say they have deep concerns about why private investment, private equity investment, as they call it, needs to be involved in this at all. And they finish off the statement by saying, for these reasons, CONCACAF and its 41 member football associations reject the proposal. They also want to ask FIFA, why can you not look at using FIFA's vast cash reserves, several billion pounds, to increase the funding that member associations get, especially on the back of this vastly successful World Cup, which was actually held in 3 CONCACAF member countries, Canada, Mexico and the USA. And they also basically say they want assurances from FIFA to ensure that in the future they do things the right way and their president doesn't plot behind the backs of FIFA Council members, confederation presidents and also presidents and chief executives of the 211 football associations which make up FIFA. So some pretty uncomfortable news landing on Gianni Infantino's desk if he's still at work in Zurich.
This is a man who only a few days ago was boasting about how brilliant the World Cup was, and we had to all wade through that 15-page document. How's he feeling tonight?
Well, look, he's under a lot of pressure. Serious questions are now being asked about his future, even though in his back pocket he's got letters of support to stand again, probably unopposed, as FIFA president next March for another 4-year term. He was almost guaranteed to get another 4-year term.
Was
was.
Do you think
Exactly. I think it's changed. When you're getting people in CONCACAF turning against Gianni Infantino, when you're getting people in Asia, like we've had today, turning against him, then you have to say, are we now going to see a rival candidate emerge? Have people finally had enough of Gianni Infantino? You and I, for years and years, have been reporting on some of his ideas, what he's been doing, how unpopular he's become. I've always tried to be fair and impartial and present both sides of the story, even though at times it's been very, very difficult. Even at this World Cup, we had outrageous ticket prices. We had the hydration breaks. We had the Flo Balogun controversy. We had President Trump getting involved.
Treatment of Iran.
We had the referee who wasn't allowed in the country. So many controversies that we had to report on, and people appeared to be willing to put up with everything. I think now, though, we've reached a tipping point, because unprecedented for a confederation like UEFA to say, we're going to boycott all your tournaments unless you drop this plan. And also very, very significant that a confederation like CONCACAF are moving so quickly, having a meeting and then release a statement saying, we reject this guy's proposal.
As you say, so many controversies through the years. He's very thick-skinned. He's always brushed them off. Can he brush this off? Can he move on?
Well, look, let's wait and see how he responds, because what's he going to do? Is he going to now drop these proposals because he's seen the strength of feeling against it from the football family around the world? And also, he's got to be a realist. He knows. He used to work at UEFA himself. He knows that without UEFA, you cannot have a World Cup. And also, he likes to mix in circles with some of the richest people in the world. They will be telling him, Gianni, this is a dead duck now. This cannot go ahead. We're not going to invest in a scheme that doesn't include some of the biggest footballing countries in the world. So he's having a very, very uncomfortable evening at a time when, even though this was the most controversial World Cup ever, he could stand there and say to his critics, like he did at the start of this week with that statement that he put out on Instagram or whatever, denouncing haters and all that sort of stuff. He should be really at the height of his powers, because he should be saying to all these federations, I know I'm controversial, I know some people don't like me, but look at all the money I'm bringing in, and I know you're going to support me in March for another 4 years. I think there are now serious question marks about how much support he has. He still has support, but I think that we're now getting to the stage where, at the very least, surely someone's going to come out and stand against him. Surely UEFA are going to find a candidate who is going to stand against him in March.
We will see. Kaveh Solokol, chief correspondent, thank you.
On these, guys, and much more, I will keep you posted as every single day. So I will see you here on the channel as always. Remember, guys, to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.